Okay, NXT Brooklyn, or NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2, I should say. Event ended just give or take about 5 minutes ago, maybe a little more than that. Yeah, it went a little bit over where they said it would, but a lot of really good matches on this one. Opening off, we have No Way Jose versus Austin Aries. Right away, they had things off to a fun start. Jose had a conga line down to the ring. It went around the ring, and then everyone left, and it was fun. And then opening up, Austin Aries tried to antagonize No Way Jose into a fight. It kind of worked for the most part. Jose punched Aries so hard that he fell outside the ring, and then followed it up with a double axe handle from the ring apron. Aries then hit a facebuster across the top rope. Aries hit a corkscrew elbow drop from the top rope for a 2 count. Aries then hit a knee breaker and then locked into Lance Chancery, but Jose got to the ropes. Jose hit a TKO and only got a 2 count on it. Jose hit a counter to suplex into a Falcon Arrow and got a 2 count on it. Eventually they started brawling into the corner, and Aries hit a top rope sunset flip power bomb and then locked in the Lance Chancery, and Jose tapped out. Austin Aries wins. After that, Aries started beating on Jose a lot, and then suddenly Hideo Itami's music hits. Itami marched down to the ring and then hit the Go to Sleep on Austin Aries. For those of you who might be a little confused, Hideo Itami, Kenta, I know that was his ring name in Japan. I can't remember what the last name was. Not Kenta Kobashi, that was a different Kenta. But anyway, Kenta in Japan pioneered the Go to Sleep as a finisher. I guess there was a moratorium on that after CM Punk quit the company, because that was also CM Punk's finishing move. I don't know if there was a moratorium on that or not, because Itami and NXT have been using a running knee lift as a finisher. But I guess the Go to Sleep is back now. I don't know if this means that Aries was the one who attacked Hideo Itami last year or not, but who knows. Okay, our second match of the night. The debuting Ember Moon versus Billie Kay. Excuse me, sorry. I am fighting a bit of a cough here, sorry. Right off the bat, Ember did kind of like a kip up into a head scissors. She then did a tilt-a-whirl arm drag. Kay countered back and hit a discus clothesline for a 2 count. Billie Kay locked in a gory special and then hit a gory bomb and got a 2 count out of it. Ember hit a neck breaker and then hit a butterfly suplex as a follow-up. The ending of the match is probably the big thing that a lot of people are going to be talking about. Ember Moon's finisher, which is a top rope kind of... It's basically a Stone Cold Stunner, but not from the top rope. She jumps off the top rope, sort of twists into the Stunner maneuver, and that's how it hits. I mean, it's a flying Stone Cold Stunner, basically, for a 3 count and the win. This was basically the Apollo Crews spot last year, if you remember that, his debut. Kind of a jobber squash. I wouldn't quite say as Billie Kay has more of a character, I think, than Ty Dillinger had last year, but make of that what you will. now our third match, and we are going to get glorious, as we have Bobby Roode versus Andrade Cien Almas. Oh boy, Roode's entrance was something else. He had this giant platform that was elevated up into the air, and then he was standing on the platform, and it lowered down to the ring, and the crowd is just singing the Glorious song, which, if you don't know, look it up. Bobby Roode Glorious. He debuted with this song, and within seconds of it debuting, it became a huge meme on the internet. It's basically this big choir going, Glorious! The whole crowd is chanting it. They're chanting, this is glorious. If I remind you, Bobby Roode is actually supposed to be the heel in this match. After every move, when the match started, Roode does his glorious pose. Almas hit a springboard head scissors and then followed it up with a slingshot dropkick through the ropes. Almas then hit a springboard corkscrew to the outside of the ring. Roode countered an Almas move with a lariat for a 2 count. Almas countered a top rope German suplex. Almas countered a fisherman suplex into a small package and got a 2 count. Almas hit a double knee stomp in the corner. Almas went for another finisher, but Roode countered that, hit a spine buster, and then followed it up with the Glorious Bomb, which is a pump handle slam for the 3. Bobby Roode wins. Kind of mixed emotions about this. Obviously, the whole crowd was eating up Roode's shtick. Roode did a good job at that part. The match itself was pretty pedestrian and ho-hum, though. Okay, our next match is the NXT Tag Team Championship match. The Revival versus Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa and Dawson started things off. Gargano tagged in and hit Dawson with a big double knee in the corner. Wilder tagged in and Gargano hit both the guys with running drop kicks. Gargano hit a suicide dive on Wilder, while Ciampa did a big knee drop from the ring apron onto Dawson. Ciampa hit an enziguri on Wilder, but went for an enziguri on Wilder, actually kicked Dawson. Went for the hot tag, but Dawson actually rolled out of the ring and pulled Gargano from the ring apron. Wilder fell into the ring at another point and distracted the ref enough so that when they got the tag, the ref didn't see the tag and couldn't let Gargano enter the ring. The Revival really started beating on Ciampa at this point. Eventually, Gargano got the hot tag. Gargano hit a zigzag for a 2 count. Ciampa tagged back in, locked Dawson in an armbar, but Wilder managed to break it up. They got into a big brawl. Eventually, Ciampa and Gargano hit their big finisher on Wilder, but then Dawson grabbed Wilder's foot and pulled it to the ropes just as the ref was counting 3. So the ref reversed his decision and restarted the match. Dawson then grabbed Ciampa and threw him into the ring post, knocking him unconscious. Wilder chop blocked Gargano. They then hit the knee drop onto the now injured knee, and then locked Gargano in a reverse figure 4 leg lock. Dawson did, and Gargano eventually tapped out. So the Revival are still tag team champions. This was a pretty good match. The Revival really are a great tag team. It was kind of surprising when they lost to American Alpha back at the NXT Takeover Dallas, and then they won it back. And you're wondering, okay, are they going to build this up to Ciampa and Gargano taking the belts, or TM61? I forgot. They used to be TMDK. Sorry. Or are they going to even dare put them on the Authors of Pain? But nope. Revival are still tag champs. Okay, our next to last match of the night is the NXT Women's Championship match. Asuka versus Bayley. I think the first time I've seen this happen in a women's match. They had a test of strength where the combatants lock hands and they try to basically force the other one to not quite submit, but basically give. First time I've seen women do that in a match. Obviously it happens in men's matches a lot, but Bayley then went for a second rope move, jump off the second rope, but Asuka countered that with a knee to the face. Asuka hits a couple hip attacks in the corner. Asuka lays Bayley across the second rope and kicks her in the back of the head. Bayley countered another hip attack through the ropes with a neck breaker. Bayley put Asuka in the Tree of Woe and then hit a big elbow drop. Asuka hit Bayley with a series of kicks. Bayley hit Asuka with a Dominator and got a 2 count. Asuka locked on the Asuka lock. Bayley kind of got to the ropes just enough and then began to work her way out of the Asuka lock, fought her way out, hit a Bayley to belly. The whole crowd starts going nuts, only gets a 2 count. Asuka locks on a second Asuka lock. Bayley kind of rolls out of it again. Asuka hits Bayley with a big roundhouse kick, but it doesn't phase her. Bayley gets up and just kind of screams and says, kind of coming for you. And then Asuka hits another roundhouse kick and it knocks Bayley down. And then Asuka hits another big roundhouse kick and it knocks Bayley out. Asuka covers for the 3 count and the win. Asuka retains. After the match, Asuka shook Bayley's hand and raised it, and then both women embraced. The crowd gave Bayley a standing ovation afterwards. I'm guessing this is probably Bayley's last night in NXT. She's going to get the main roster call-up after this. Whether it's Raw or SmackDown, I don't know. My head says Raw, probably. My heart kind of says SmackDown, because SmackDown's women's division is a little lacking right now, especially with Ava Marie being suspended. Okay, one other thing that happened just before we get to the main event. They debuted the trophy for the Cruiserweight Championship because it was made by the guys at Orange County Customs, or the guys from American Choppers. Made the Cruiserweight Championship trophy, which is a silver ball in a black box. I don't know how much effort they put into that. And now to our main event, the NXT World Championship match. Samoa Joe versus Nakamura Shinsuke. The two almost start fighting right before the bell. I will say this, the entrance sequence, Shinsuke actually had a violin player playing his theme down in the ring. It was pretty, yeah, like the whole crowd just ate that up. Anyway, the two kind of started getting into a brawl before they even announced the whole thing and rang the bell. Right off the bat, after a couple of kicks, they began chain wrestling for a bit. Eventually, Nakamura began landing a series of knee strikes. Joe hit an enziguri in the corner. Nakamura hit a running knee, but then Joe rolled out of the way. A running knee on the apron. Joe fell out to the outside of the ring. Nakamura hopped up on the apron, tried to do a knee drop, but Joe dodged out of the way, and Nakamura took the whole thing on his knee, and this allowed Joe to get the upper hand. Joe locked on a Dragon Sleeper for a while. Joe then hit a rolling heel kick to Nakamura's knee. Nakamura hit a spinning heel kick to Joe. Got Joe into the corner. Joe hit a big corner Uranagi. Joe went for a muscle buster, but Nakamura fought out of that and landed a missile drop kick. Nakamura countered a lariat into a cross arm breaker, but Joe fought out of that. Joe locked on a crossface. Joe locked on a cloverleaf a couple times. Nakamura got to the ropes. Joe locked on a rear naked choke, but again, Nakamura got to the ropes. Joe hit a big power slam for a 2. Joe hit a muscle buster, only got a 2 count. Joe went for a second muscle buster. Nakamura countered out of that, hit a Kinshasa, only got a 2 count. They got back up. Nakamura managed to hit second rope Kinshasa to the back of Joe's head. He then followed up with one more Kinshasa, got the 3 count. Your new NXT champion, Shinsuke Nakamura. Sorry. This was a pretty good match. There was kind of some dead spots in it. There was a lot of sleeper holds and submission holds, and sometimes that could really, obviously, that's usually done to extend a match, and it did kind of slow the pace down a little bit on that. I think people were maybe expecting a bit more of a brawl in that. Like I said, overall, it was a pretty good match. Overall, very solid pay-per-view. I don't know if I could really give it an A, though. The Ember Moon match was a glorified squash. The Bobby Roode match was not that much better, really. It was an okay match, because Roode played the character well, but something about it just didn't feel right with me. The tag match was entertaining. I personally would have liked to have seen the titles change hands. I don't mind Bayley not winning the title back. I'm kind of for there only being a one-time champion in NXT sometimes. I think that kind of lends to the entertainment. Like, who can come up now to challenge Asuka? You know that women's division got kind of picked in the brand extension draft. So, yeah, I mean, we're seeing some. Like I said, Billie Kay finally seems to have a character now. It seems like they're finally doing things with Liv Morgan. There's the Scottish one. Is there Shawcross, I think her name is. I guess they're high on her. So maybe that'll turn things out. Obviously, Joe's still probably going to be hanging around the main events. Joe might go to the main roster too. I'm not entirely sure on that, but Joe might. Yeah, I don't know if Samoa Joe's going to go to the main roster or not. If he's going to stick around in NXT and try to get his title back. He really seems like that kind of guy sometimes. So I'm going to give this show a B. Like I said, I couldn't quite give it an A. Some parts of it kind of stuck in my craw, but other than that, it was still enjoyable. I still had fun. Sorry, I'm looking at my watch a little bit. This video, I'm going to try to get it up on Saturday, but it's probably going to be up on Sundays, which means I'll have 2 videos up on Sunday. The next video's the random trade review on What If, Why Not? And after that will be SummerSlam. I'll actually be able to see SummerSlam live this year, so I'll be in for all 6 hours of that. Because it's a 4-hour show and there's a 2-hour pre-show with 2 matches on it, so yep, gotta cover those. See you all next time.